Welcome to Deep Thought. Being triggered by something means you need healing. You know what? We need to really talk about triggers because it seems like everybody got one. There's a lot of people saying, I'm triggered or something. Like one of the unfortunate things is people try to stop somebody, say, well, if you're saying this or you're using this pronoun or this or whatever, you're triggering. And it's like, dude, you shouldn't be triggered by anything. It means you need to be healed of something if something triggers you. Like, okay, like I use these videos sometimes, and I know I've said some stuff that's triggered some people, and they getting all mad. I'm like, well, hold up, stop. Whatever triggered you is not really me. Because if somebody else do the same exact thing, you may be triggered, you know? Like I remember, it was a seminar I was doing. It was all women there, right? And one was triggered because I was standing up doing a presentation. And I was thinking about it. And, I was like, you know what, fine. I can do the same thing sitting down, right? Because it wasn't a big deal to me, but I could tell a lot of stuff I was saying was triggering this woman. And I was like, that's not within me. That's within you. And I even told her that. I took her to the side and told her, because she was like, well, I had a problem with this. I said, well, hold up. Why you have a problem with it? Because it's not me. I don't know you. It's someone, and if someone else does it, you're going to have the same thing. And a third person, a fourth person. Only thing they have in common is you. You got to look with them. And it's funny with that woman. That woman actually hit me up a few months later and thanked me. Because she did look within her. Like, if you ever triggered by something, if something bothers you, why does it bother you? Ask yourself, why does it bother you? It ain't that person. That person is just being them. And indeed, in many cases, they don't know if they trigger you or that situation that's happening, you getting triggered by, you getting mad by, why is it bothering you? And we all had to do it. I've had to do it. I ain't gonna tell you what triggers me, but I worked on it because I said, okay, why does that bother me? Why is that particular incident bothering me? And it's not the person, it's not the situation, it's something within me. Then I can look at it and say, oh, okay. So I had to deal with it. Like I said, I ain't giving any detractors any ammunition, but, still working on it myself. And we all have to do it. But if we triggered by something, it means we need to be healed of something. Why is that triggering us? Why is that bothering us? Oh, this is the reason, Oh, and then once you can determine what it is, then you can work on it. Because you can't say whether or not something's happened is good or bad. It's simply happening. It's simply there, You have to work through it because it can happen. Like if somebody's doing something, like someone's actions, they don't know if it's bothering you or not. They don't know you. They don't know you from Jack. They don't know you. Like there was somebody who years ago who had some issues with me. And they were like, well, as long as you stop talking about me. I was like, I don't know you. And I told the person, I don't know you. I don't know your name. I never met you. I said, you need to look at what I'm saying. I ain't call your name. Your nose, I don't call names. And I don't know you personally, but something I was doing was triggering that person. They need to look within because I don't know what it is. And even if I change, he said what it was and I say, oh, I'm going to change it, then the next person's going to trigger that person, next person. See, if you triggered by something, that's within you. The other person ain't consciously doing it. Or even in cases where the person consciously do something, they actually know. They can't bother you. They can't trigger if you know what it is. It's like you can try. There's some people try to get a rise out of you. Like you get a lot of these trolls online. They really want to get a rise out of a person. They actually get more pissed when you ignore them. Or just like hecklers at a comedy show. They doing what they doing to get a rise. They feeling good, but if you act like, usually the comedians either jump on them or ignore them, So it's like, but you have to ask yourself, think about everything that triggers you. Okay. Only thing these incidents have in common is you. You can't say to the other. See, one of the problems out here is people, they want the other person to change. They might not change. You got to ask yourself, okay, you going to let this other person really mess with you? Now, what is it within you that's dealing with this? Because you can fix that easy because you can control yourself 100%. You can't control the other person. Because if you look into the outside of you, like I said, the situation is going to come from someplace different. It's going to come from a different person. Might even come from someone who that you actually care about, love. They in your circle. But you got to ask yourself, what are they doing? Because sometimes we can be triggered by whatever. It's like you got some people out there triggered by rich people, people with money and stuff. But you gotta ask yourself, well, hold up, why are you triggered by this person? They're making money. They not bothering you. Their business has nothing to do with you. You don't even know that person. Why are you triggered by it? You know? You gotta ask yourself that. Like, people doing stuff, it's like they don't know you. It's within you. You can't make them change. You don't need to make them change. You need to look within. You need to deal with that issue. And this is very important. This is very important because the society we live in now, the culture we live in, somebody's triggered by something. Somebody's triggered by something. And it's like, for what? What is it within you? And I can't emphasize that enough. Because I'm going to tell you what, once you strengthen inside of yourself, once you go within, and this is whether you're triggered by something or just in life, period. When the outside world can't bother you, then you're invulnerable. Then you can move through life with power, with authority, because something else cannot take away your peace. See, ultimately, you want to get to the point where nothing can mess with you. No thing can mess with you. You want to get to that point. And it's some work. It's some work. I'm working on it too. Whenever I feel triggered by something or somebody doing something, I ask myself, okay, what was it about them? Or was the situation? Like I said, I'm human. I still got some triggers. And as I said earlier, I ain't going to mention them. I ain't going to give any, and I know some people be looking too. But I'm going to tell you what, I worked on my own healing with whatever personal triggers I had. And I'm working on it. I've worked on some don't bother me anymore, but there's always more. But working on it myself. Every single person watching this, every single person that encounters this video need to do the same thing. You need to ask yourself, okay, that's triggering me. What is it inside of me that's being triggered by this? So I want y'all to think about that, all right? And I'll get back with y'all later, all right? Peace and blessings, everyone.